Betrayal smells like ash bitter choking, the kind that lingers long after the fire's gone out. It's not just a theft, it's a blade twisted in your chest by someone you called family. I'm Hope Valencia, and this is how my world burned down in one morning. The guest room was a graveyard of trust. Papers littered the floor like fallen leaves, each one stained with my name and ink that wasn't mine. I knelt, my breath catching, and picked up a bank transfer receipt. $130 zero drained from my account. Another beneath it, $45,000. My hands shook, the numbers blurring into a silent scream. The room was hollowed out. My sister Nora's duffel bag, the one I'd teased her about yesterday, was gone. Closets gaped empty. The picture frame on the nightstand, us as girls, splashing in Lake Tahoe. Dad grinning behind us, held nothing but glass, reflecting my stunned face in the morning light. Then I saw the note scrolled in Nora's looping cursive on the bed. Hope I'm sorry. Liam says, we're building a new life. Don't come looking. My sister, 39, had vanished like a thief in the night, stealing not just my money, but the faith I'd stitched into our bond. I collapsed onto the bed, the sheets still creased from her weight, the receipts crumpling in my fists. My heart pounded, a frantic rhythm until I heard it. Quiet steps, too soft for anyone but my daughter, Ivy. Mom. Ivy's voice was small, cutting through the fog. My 11-year-old stood in the doorway, her braid messy from sleep, her oversized hoodie swallowing her frame. Her eyes started to the papers, the barren room, the absence. What happened? I tried to speak, but how do you tell your kid their aunt and gutted your life? Before I could find words, Ivy stepped forward, kneeling beside me. Her gaze locked on the receipts, and instead of fear, a strange stillness settled over her. She smiled sharp and wrong. It's okay, Mom. I fixed it. My stomach nodded. Fixed it, Ivy? What are you talking about? She pulled a tablet from her hoodie pocket, not her usual one with the cracked screen, but a sleek, unfamiliar device. Her fingers danced across it, pulling up a profile. A man's face stared back, and below it a name. Liam Crane. Wanted in 5 states, Ivy said, her tone flat like she was reciting homework. Embezzlement, identity theft, extortion. That's Nora's new boyfriend. My throat tightened. How do you know this? She didn't flinch. I've been watching Nora's late-night texts. Her calls she thought were private. I hacked her cloud. Public records are easy if you know the right sites. I gripped the bedpost, my nails biting into the wood. This was my daughter, who still left glitter pens scattered on the kitchen table and begged for ice cream before dinner. Now she was speaking like a vigilante, scrolling through mug shot and court filings with a calm that chilled me. It's done, she said, her voice too steady, too grown. Nora is not as clever as she thinks. Before I could process her words, a sharp rap echoed from downstairs. My pulse spiked. Ivy's eyes met mine, unreadable, as the knock came again, heavy as a gavel. I stumbled downstairs, Ivy trailing like a quiet storm. Through the front door's frosted glass, I saw 2 officers, their silhouettes stark against the foggy San Francisco morning. Miss Valencia? The shorter one asked, her voice firm but kind. Detective Navarro, this is Officer Chen. Can we come in? I nodded, my heart hammering. They sat on my couch, opening a folder on the coffee table. We got a tip this morning, Navarro said. Your sister, Nora Valencia, was detained at a rest stop off Highway 101, 20M North. She was with a man, Liam Crane. Ivy sat across from us, her hands folded, silent as stone. Chin slid evidence across the table, blurry security footage of Nora at an ATM, Liam beside her, my forged signature on transfer forms, encrypted messages plotting their getaway. Most of your funds are secure, Navarro said. We need you to confirm the transactions weren't yours. I nodded, my throat raw, but my eyes flicked to Ivy. Her face was a mask, but I knew that tip wasn't random. My 11-year-old had unraveled their scheme thread by thread. As the officers spoke, the phone shrieked, its rings slicing the air. Ivy didn't move. I did. I grabbed the phone, my hand trembling. Hope. Nora's voice, cracked and frantic, poured through. They caught us. Someone sold me out. They knew everything. The accounts, the route, even Liam's burner. Who Hope? Who knew? My gaze locked on Ivy, sitting still, her eyes boring into me like she could read my thoughts. You did this, Nora, I said, my voice shaking. You forged my name. You stole from me. She gasped, desperate. Liam's trouble. But this wasn't him. Someone's pulling strings. Watch yourself. The line died. Ivy stood stretching like the call was nothing. Thieves always point fingers, she said, her voice light, almost playful as she headed for the stairs. But for a heartbeat, her mask cracked. A glint of something cold, something calculated, flickered in her eyes. I stood alone, the phone heavy in my hand, her words echoing. My daughter had saved me, but the cost was a shadow I couldn't name. Upstairs, her door clicked shut, and the house felt like a cage. I don't know what Ivy's becoming, but it terrifies me. Have you ever loved someone so fiercely it makes you question everything? Share your story in the comments. I need to know I'm not alone. Subscribe because this story is far from